a complete understatement. It was the best decision of my life. It was also the most expensive course I'd ever purchased at the time, and therefore was going to be my last course, at least so I told myself.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm so excited for y'all to have take time out of your schedule to check out my YouTube channel again and share some of the stories that I've been gathering, collecting here from the SubTo community, Gator community, Paces Morby, right? Our mentor that has combined us together, all like-minded individuals in this space of real estate investing, just trying to get 1% better every day. And today, y'all, I have Houston Becquet. Dude, this guy, I remember when I started calling direct to agents, I was having negotiation breakdowns. And I was like, Houston, buddy, walk me through, how the negotiation aspect. He was so helpful. Houston, super thankful, man, for taking time out of your business, your friends, family, man, for being here, giving me some time with you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Pass the floor to you for a little bit. Do you want to introduce yourself? Where are you located, Houston? And then, we'll take the conversation from there.
Well, hey, yeah, no, I mean, honestly, thank you so much for having me, Edgar. I really appreciate it. We've been like friends for so long, but it's funny because it feels like in the community, and I'm speaking about SubTo, the community SubTo. It just, whenever you meet somebody, it's for whatever reason, that community is like a good filter for people that just that are just good people. And so most of the people, the vast majority of the people I've met in SubTo are just really great people. And you're definitely no exception. My name is Houston Becquet. Thank you so much for having me. I am a wholesaler. I specialize in doing creative acquisitions. And what that means, just to break that down, a wholesaler is somebody who, purchases property or gets a property under contract, and then actually assigns their equitable interest in that property to an end buyer, who is typically a buy and hold investor, as we like to call them in the business. I do a lot of wholesaling, like I said, creative stuff. And what that really means is seller finance, SubTo. I'm working on my first novation right now. So really anything that has to do with anything other than cash is what I've been focusing on for the last 11 months now. Just to touch base, just to give you a little bit of a background, I actually have been buying courses for just about 10 years. I purchased my first course in 2014, and it was my way of saying, hey, it was my first time, dropping out, and I'm using air quotes. I know I'm free. The screen is freezing, but I'm using air quotes, dropping out of college. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to go into real estate, and I'm going to be, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be an investor. And so I invested all right, but I invested $10,000 into a course and another $5,000 or so into direct mail marketing, in which I had absolutely no systems in place on how to capitalize or monetize on any of that. So, I kind of let all those opportunities slide. And, fast forward 9 years, I did that 9 or so more times every year. I would save up money and I'd buy a course, invest into marketing, and just kind of fall flat on my face. I don't consider any of those times of failures because I didn't quit. So for me, it was more just, I always thought that there was, success behind like a paywall or, I had to get in the right community, or maybe they were selling me old lists. There was always like I always rationalized my ability to, go and spend another 10, 15,000 on a course after I saved up all year. And so I would do that again, like I said, for the better part of 10 years, finally joined SubTo in October 2022. And, I mean, it was, to say it was transformative is a complete understatement. It was the best decision of my life. It was also the most expensive course I'd ever purchased at the time. And therefore was going to be my last course, at least So I told myself. I've since purchased 2 more courses since then, but I have a return on my investment finally.
There we go. Finally.
I joined SubTo. The community aspect is really the difference between the SubTo and any other community. The ability just to reach out to just about anybody and get a friendly response. I wouldn't say SubTo is the most high level community you could ever join, but I think it's a wonderful place to start and to kind of springboard forward. It's a really, really great place. So I joined October. I jumped into like 3 or 4 people's different teams for about a month each. A common theme between the teams that I was a part of, and this is a common theme throughout SubTo, is the lack of solid direction. Most people in SubTo follow Pace very closely. You know, he's kind of like our enigmatic leader, and everybody loves him so much. And understandably so, he's an amazing guy. But he has the knack of really changing focus so frequently. I mean, oh my gosh, the guy is one day he is gung ho on something, and then the next day he's gung ho on something completely separate. And it's extremely hard to follow along and keep up with them. In fact, you can't keep up with them. He has 3 or 4 different people that run his different sides of the business, and they can't even keep up with that small little portion that he's putting him in charge of. So I think it's very important for anybody listening to this who might be considering SubTo or might feel a little bit lost in SubTo or similar programs. Just know that every single thing that you hear about works, but none of it works unless you fully commit to one thing. And so that is truly the most important lesson I ever learned in real estate, or in SubTo, was that you have to focus. And there's a wonderful leader in SubTo named Caroline Kane. She's absolutely wonderful. She runs the daily dials. Like, I don't even know. I think it's like 5 days a week, super early in the morning.
5 days a week.
I mean, definitely earlier than I, ever get up or ever want to get up. But it's an amazing resource for those people. And she has this saying that's, this
you need focus
acronym for focus. And it's follow one course until successful. And I thought that was just one of the most powerful things I had ever heard, and especially relevant at the time. And so for me, I finally saw a post on Facebook that laid out, essentially, hey, this is how you're going to focus. And it was like, hey, I will take all of the unknowns out of the equation. You just call. I will handle the underwriting, the underwriting, the closing, the TC, the transaction coordination. I'll pay the EMD, the earnest money deposit. I will close it. I will sell it. I'll dispo it. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa. All I have to do is call. Well, hey, that's all I ever do, and I don't have to do anything else. Oh my gosh, that seems like a good deal. And so that was Kevin Cho, and that was in February of 2023. It took me 6 days with calling with him, where I finally got my first successful contract. And March 27th, 2023 was the first time, I closed a deal successfully, and it was amazing. It was literally life-changing. The proof of concept that people talk about was absolutely real. For me, it didn't even happen when I closed and got my check. I was already over it by then. It was when I finally got that accepted contract and had somebody tell me that this is a done deal and that he assigned it to Pace. Because my first deal we signed to Pace, and I was like,
that's awesome.
I was like, dude, this is awesome. I made $5,500. The total assignment was $11,000. So we did a 50-50 JV split. And it was amazing. It was really, really great. I can even remember the address. I almost don't want to say it just in case, this goes big, but it's Ruidoso Downs in Robinson, Texas. A really amazing, beautiful home. There was a bad situation, and we happened to help the seller out of a bad situation, and I made $5,500. It was mind blowing and literally earth rattling to me. So I did
Dude,
about,
that's amazing.
thank you. I did about one deal a month for the next 3 or 4 months. And when I had a friend who was just a accountability buddy, like a little battle buddy in SubTo, happened to be visiting in town, and he was like, "Hey, can I come work with you for a day?" And he watched me do my thing and like watched how I pulled my list, because he was trying what I was doing but wasn't successful with it.
Mm,
And so he was like, "Hey, I just want to work with you. I just want to see like, how to get this done." And so he worked with me that whole day and basically was like, just very analytical, completely opposite of me. I'm a very outgoing, amicable person. I'm not very analytical at all. Well, he was like, just, sitting there like, just like, just focused. And towards the end of the day, he was like, "What if I could build a program that pulled this lead list for you, that put it into a CRM, and I built automations to do all the follow-up?"
right.
I was like, "Well, that would be pretty cool." He's like, "Would you want to partner up?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Like, I didn't really put much thought into it, to be honest. And then 3 weeks later, about a month later, he finishes this program, which is what he called the market takeover tool. It was, my partner's name was Ryan Schroep, and he built this tool that essentially did what took me 20, 30 minutes a poll, and he did it, created a program that did it
Wow.
automatically. And so it took me, and us, from one deal a month to 3 to 5 deals a month. And then we brought on callers to replace the cold calling ourselves,
Hmm.
and progressed to our max was, I think it was like 5 deals in 1 month. So from March 2023 to the time of filming here is January 31st. And so since then, I've closed 20 deals creatively, all seller finance or SubTo. And I've got my first novation in escrow. We've got like 3 or 4 more in escrow right now. So really turn this, I quit my day job, and I really took this full time.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Sharing your whole journey from joining Sub2 till now that you've closed 20, now you have one innovation. Dude, that's a testament of being consistent, and being persistent and honing your craft on your niche, right? Like really focusing. And it looks like you found that, right? That's amazing, man. Thanks for sharing that. So you did say that you left your day job. I'm curious. So what was that before? What was Houston before SubTo and real estate? What were you doing before?
So if the mustache didn't give it away, I was actually like a bartender for the last like 10 years or so. And then I was going to school that whole time, just like honestly just getting by. I was paying for my schooling, so I was just working 2 jobs and just kind of like taking a few classes at a time. Took me 7 years to get a degree in geology, and I love rocks. I absolutely loved it. I wanted to go into the field, and then I
Mm.
shadowed some people that were doing it, and they were absolutely miserable. They spend 99% of their days, literally 29 days out of the month, they spend behind a desk writing paper, like writing either like reports on what they found, or uh, funding proposals to try to go to find something else. And
Oh, wow.
everybody I talked to was just miserable. The starting salary was like 60K, which I was making as a bartender, and working 3-4 days a week,
Mm.
and meeting people, having a great time on my feet. And so for me, the upward mobility wasn't worth it. The job style, it just wasn't what I signed up for. And so I always knew I could achieve more. I love when people say that they're destined for more. I mean, I think everybody is destined for more, but I knew I could achieve more. And for me, to be completely honest, I thought real estate was going to be like a way for me to like not have to work very hard and make a lot of money,
Mm.
to be completely honest. um when I started my first, and now I'm starting my second, real estate wholesaling company, um this is the hardest and the longest hours I've ever worked.
Yeah.
You know